Hi, thank you for accessing this video. I'm going to talk to you today about patent quality through AI project, or PQAI. My name is Sam Zellner. I'm leading this project. We're trying to make the innovation process more efficient. We know that innovation leads to economic growth, which then helps the standard of living. And so that's why this is just so important. We also know that today, many of the inventors are not getting the chance that they should. As been brought up by many people, the representation of inventors is not what it should be in terms of different minority groups, in terms of women, in terms of just general opportunity. So we feel that there's an opportunity here to create a new tool that'll make it easier for everyone to understand what is novel. As you'll see in this video, the problem of novelty is core to innovation. So let's look at the inventor's perspective on this, which I think is many times forgotten. So as an inventor myself and somebody who's worked with hundreds of inventors, I know there's no shortage of ideas. Additionally, most inventors fully appreciate how the patent process can transform an idea into a tangible asset. Unfortunately, the pursuit of patent protection is an uphill battle, or what I refer to as the Invention Hill. For most inventors, this climb, in which time and money is against him, is a very tough one. This is even true for the corporate inventor, where they're competing for corporate resources. So let's look at the different strategies that inventors use to determine whether their idea is new. Many inventors who work in the field of their invention use their own knowledge to evaluate whether their idea is novel. In other cases, they might ask friends or coworkers, perform a Google search, or use USPTO patent search tool to determine what prior art is out there already, or who else has thought about the idea. Based on this knowledge, they'll start working on the design and potentially start building a prototype. Somewhere in the process, they'll decide, or someone will advise them, you should apply for a patent or protection for this idea. Many patent attorneys will perform a search, a prior art search, or recommend a prior art search, a professional prior art search. With several thousands of dollars invested at this point and a significant amount of time, unfortunately, many inventors then come to learn about the obviousness test, or what some would refer to the 103 type of rejection. And this is an important piece because, again, many inventors don't understand this. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of ideas fall down, in the sense that it's not intuitive for inventors to understand that while most people will think of a 102 search in terms of, has anybody described my idea? The 103 or obviousness test is that nobody has maybe described your idea directly, but they have different parts of your idea have been disclosed or described. And somebody will argue, or the examiner will argue, that it would have been obvious to bring these parts together. And so therefore it is not novel. So this is what happens to many inventors. And it would be better for them to appreciate this idea in the front, or in the beginning, a very early part of their idea process. In other cases, for various reasons, there isn't a prior art search done, and the inventors jump to just filing a patent application. And what we find there is the statistics, if you look from the US Patent Office, is that 44% will get a 102 rejection, and a whopping 81% will get a 103 rejection from the office. And this is why it's so important for inventors to understand what 103 is all about. In the end, though, what happens here is that we see many inventors abandoning their ideas in the patent office process because they find out about prior art, or in other cases they get patents, but the patent claims are very narrow, so the value that the inventor was hoping to capture is lost. And then we also know from those inventors who do succeed in getting a broad patent that the risk of the Patent Trial and Appeals Board, many people know this as the PTAB, is also a big threat here, because 63% of the patents reviewed by the PTAB were invalidated either partially or completely. So getting back to Invention Hill, the plight of the inventor in terms of time and investment is very challenging. And we need to do everything we can to help inventors use their time and money wisely in terms of pursuing ideas, because it is a risky venture. This is where we believe the opportunity is for a better prior art search engine that would allow inventors to understand their ideas right in the beginning before they start trying to run up this hill, to see if their idea is worthy of pursuing patent protection. And again, we should be clear that patent protection does not necessarily mean it's a good idea from a business perspective, but we do know that patent protection does help in terms of getting funding from venture capitalists. It helps in terms of differentiating your product. It helps in protecting your ability for freedom of operation. So it's very critical to the invention process and pursuit of a company or monetization of an idea. The question might be at this point, why aren't inventors doing more prior art searching? And the answer here is that it's very hard to do. We know that right now most of the prior art search engines use a Boolean type of search engine, and that means that you have to construct very complex types of searches, looking at various combinations of words and synonyms of words to get to the right prior art. And if you look at, for example, the EPO, they talk about this problem in their little guide for inventors. They take the simple example of a mousetrap, and they explain how if you just go in and do a search on a mousetrap, it'll generate 2 million hits. And they recognize that a lot of these hits or these results aren't going to be relevant to the idea of a mousetrap. And even if they are relevant, it's just too many documents to go through for the typical inventor. So they recommend considering looking at rodent trap or trapping mice as alternative searches. And even these respectively provide a result in 20,000 to 700 hits, which again are just, as they explain, just too many for somebody to go through. So you can just see how difficult it is. The other piece that they also recognize is that the question becomes, how long will it take to do a prior art search? And their simple answer is that you need to keep on searching. If you don't find anything, you're just not looking hard enough. And that just is not practical. Add on top of this the fact that these tools aren't designed to do 103 searches, which we know are the predominant type of rejection that you get. So with all this, it just shows how, as much as an inventor might want to do a prior art search effectively, it's just very hard to do. So we think this creates an opportunity for PQAI. And what is different about PQAI is the fact that we're leveraging AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, and natural language processing to create a search engine that's much easier to use, not only for the inventor, but for patent attorneys, for professional searchers, and even for the patent examiner. Because now you can put in just your idea in a natural language format, and through natural language processing, it can do all these complex searches of different synonyms, conceptual representations of your idea. And AI can do the smart searching to look at all the different possible combinations and concepts that might relate to your idea and present them in a much more focused way. We now combine that with in a very efficient type of output, again, recognizing that we need to provide just a limited number of results rather than hundreds of results, so that the inventor or the user can really focus in on the most relevant pieces of art and determine whether the idea is different or similar to these. This capability now makes it much more efficient for the inventor or the evaluator to determine, is this idea novel? What we're going to do is now combine, along with 102, the 103, the obviousness component into PQAI. So now you have, for the first time, have the ability to get a 103 type of search, which we, as we described, is the most common type of rejection. So you can look at this too and figure out, is this, something is your idea really not novel because of obviousness? What we want to do to make PQAI just that much more robust is we're creating it as an open source engine. And what this means is that everybody in the community can now contribute to PQAI. So as new techniques in AI come available, we can incorporate those into PQAI to make it even a better search engine. So the benefits of open source is providing broader access, providing a platform that can evolve and leverage the latest techniques in AI technology. So therefore, we think that PQAI will have a number of important benefits. And those benefits are a more efficient innovation process through early novelty assessment. Again, inventors can see right away whether their idea is novel or not, and use this information to make the best determination on where to go forward. We also think that this will allow patent attorneys and patent examiners to more efficiently look at ideas, and so therefore the quality of patents that come out of the patent system will be better. There will be less office action, so it'll be a more efficient and economic process of getting protection. We'll increase the number and diversity of inventors by making it easier to assess novelty. We'll improve the patent quality by creating a novelty threshold. Now it'll be more apparent to people what something is or isn't. Ideas are or aren't novel. So therefore, we'll get better quality of patents getting issued and granted. Greater trust in the patent process. We hope then, through PQAI and its transparency, that when patents get issued, people have more confidence in the patent process here. And finally, new improved applications come from PQAI because the components of PQAI, whether it's the natural language processing, whether it's the AI component, these elements can now be leveraged for new products, maybe new landscaping products, or just totally new capabilities outside of the patent process can benefit from PQAI open source elements. So this is a big effort. We think it's very important to, as I said, the benefits of innovation and driving innovation. Innovation drives growth. Growth creates a higher standard of living, which is a benefit for everyone. So I would encourage you to try out PQAI, give us feedback. We're still in the early stages of this development effort, and your feedback is very important. Thank you.